In 2025, 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan vanished from their home in Lansdowne, Nova Scotia, sparking one of the largest searches in province's history. Nearly 2 months later, a key piece of testimony from Janie McKenzie, the children's grandmother, points the finger at their mother, Malehya Brooks-Murray. But how reliable is her account? And why hasn't it led to new actions from the RCMP? Today we dive into this mystery, analyzing new statements from the stepfather, Daniel Martell, and claims from her family member, Darren Geddes. Stay tuned. Let's uncover the truth. Jack and Lily Sullivan, members of the Sipkek First Nation, were reported missing by their mother, Malehya Brooks-Murray, on May 2, 2025, after allegedly wandering from their rural home on Garlock Road. Over 10,000 volunteer hours, drones, dogs, and helicopters sourced 5.5 square kilometers, finding only a boot print and a fragment of Lily's blanket. The RCMP scaled back searches on May 7th, citing low survival odds, but the investigation continues with 488 tips and 54 interviews. Amid family tensions and public frustration, Janie McKenzie's testimony about Malehya's behavior in the driveway has become a focal point. Let's explore its reliability and why it hasn't shifted the RCMP. Janie McKenzie, Daniel Martell's mother, and the children's grandmother, lives on the property in a camper overlooking the backyard, according to June 25th X by Joseph Morris. Janie claimed she heard screams and caught Malehya in the driveway with baby Meadow. Moments after the children vanished. Janie recounted confronting Malehya, saying, "Where's the kids?" Malehya, allegedly stunned, replied, "They're in the woods." Now, this testimony, echoed in Sonny's live stream, suggests Malehya was present when the children were taken, contradicting her claim that they had wandered off while she was asleep. But how reliable is Jamie's account? As Daniel's mother, she may have a bias against Malehya, especially since Malehya left Daniel and moved to Wentworth with Meadow after an argument. There's an ex-post's mention of screams adds drama, but lacks corroboration from other sources. And those screams, it was just an excitable scream from what I hear from Janie. Let me see. Raising questions about its accuracy. Janie's camper location gives her a vantage point, but her claim hinges on her observation skills and memory under stress. Well, it was the shrieker, screamer, excited Lily that woke the dog up that got the attention of Janie McKenzie, so she says. And that's what made her look out the window. And as she did, she watched Malehya and Jack and Lily, Meadow, I believe Meadow was with them, shuffling across the yard towards the driveway, the road's end, or the driveway's end. Janie's camper location gives her vantage point, but her claim hinges on her observation skills and memory under stress without physical evidence. Tying Malehya to the driveway at that exact moment, her testimony remains circumstantial. Yet it aligns with Daniel's and Geddes' claims that Malehya lied about the woods narrative, lending it some weight. Daniel Martell's recent Facebook group comments, shared in Sonny's June, I believe that was 29th or 28th live stream, maybe I'm wrong, bolster Janie's testimony. He stated, "I believe they're alive and Malehya knows who took and drove them off the property." Timestamp 5140 in her particular live stream. He also admitted, "She said the kids are in the woods. Stupid me believed that, and I searched and searched." That's timestamp 5252 of the live stream. These statements suggest Malehya orchestrated the disappearance, aligning with Janie's claim that she was in the driveway, not asleep. Daniel's mention of Malehya's postpartum issues, noting everything was about Meadow, implies neglect of Jack and Lily, supporting the idea she was distracted or planning a break that day. Darren Geddes, a distant relative, also accuses Malehya of lying, claiming she was in the driveway when the children were taken. Based on Janie's account, that is, Geddes asserts Daniel's covered for Malehya out of love, but now believes she knows who took the children. Both Daniel and Geddes point to the Brooks-Murray family silence, with Daniel noting not one person in her family speaks. They can't. Then the kids would be moved. This suggests a coordinated effort to protect the children's location, reinforcing Janie's testimony, well, indirectly. However, neither provides concrete evidence beyond Janie's word, and Daniel's claim of passing a polygraph lacks RCMP confirmation, raising doubts about the objectivity. His objectivity, rather. Just a little side note right now. Wouldn't you picture this to be if Janie was telling the police this? You think that they would have continued the search but redirected things, put out an Amber Alert while they don't have a real clear description of the car. But if you've got an eyewitness stating just shy of that, man, you would think that you would get an Amber Alert. Like would that constitute kidnapping, parental abduction? Man, she got my head spinning. You would think that they would have acted accordingly from day one. Maybe part of that is maintaining the narrative that Malehya Brooks-Murray wants to portray, to see where the hell this is going. And from the police standpoint, when you can't put a finger on exactly what the hell is going on, you're going to stick to procedure, your training, and wait it out. You're never going to wait the government out that much in that sense, even though people get away with things. They have to know that those kids aren't in those woods. So that's what they were doing out there. Now, what they believe behind the scenes might be a whole different story. Because I would be personally really suspicious if I didn't find them within 100 meters. Like, something's up. What's going on? And the worst case scenario in my mind is always like stranger abduction. Although, you still got to keep searching. You would have to think that they recognized that there was a lot more to this story, especially with Janie's account. She seems to have had a great perspective and vantage point overseeing the entire scenario. And look at her situated back there in the corner, nestled back in there beside the chicken coop. She can see the whole operation. Her jumping out the sliding back door. It would make sense why her story didn't add up, and it doesn't add up any, because she's trying to fabricate it. And your memory, your memory just isn't that good sometimes. Not that that's an excuse here, but she's lying. Despite Janie's testimony and supporting claims, the RCMP has not shifted its stance that there's no evidence of abduction. Why? First, the testimony lacks corroboration. The boot print found near a pipeline trail, mentioned by Geddes and Daniel, couldn't be confirmed as the children's. The RCMP's focus on a wandering scenario is based on Malehya's initial 911 call and the absence of definitive abduction evidence, like witness sightings or vehicle traces. Second, the RCMP's investigation is meticulous, with 488 tips, 54 interviews, and polygraphs ongoing since May 2nd. They've analyzed surveillance footage and searched septic systems, but no new leads have emerged to validate Janie's account. Third, the RCMP advised Malehya and her mother, Cindy Murray, against speaking to the media. I don't know if that's true, though. That's just coming from them, suggesting a controlled approach to avoid compromising the investigation. Corporal Guillaume Tremblay emphasized that all scenarios are considered. but the lack of public updates may reflect a strategy to pressure suspects quietly, possibly targeting Malehya, as Daniel's "she will crack" comment implies. Finally, online speculation, including Janie's claims amplified on X, has been cautioned against by the RCMP as it risks legal issues and misinformation. Well, it's all information and misinformation until we figure out the truth, isn't it? Come on now. Without physical evidence or new witnesses, Janie's testimony alone may not justify a shift in the RCMP's focus. Janie McKenzie's testimony paints a damning picture of Malehya Brooks-Murray's behavior, supported by Daniel Martell's and Darren Geddes' claims of deception, yet its reliability is weakened by the potential bias and lack of corroboration, and the RCMP's focus on a wandering narrative. The Brooks-Murray family's silence and timeline inconsistencies help keep suspicion alive, but without new evidence, the RCMP's cautious approach persists. Why do you think? Is it Janie's account a breakthrough, or is it clouded by family tensions? Share your thoughts below and help keep Jack and Lily's case alive. Contact Pictou County RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, just like Don B did. With any information, subscribe for updates, and let's demand some answers for these missing children, friends. Peace.